trying to get the generalist CPA on board. It really comes down to the generalist CPA's willingness to go deeper and to open themselves up to learning more. Not all generalist CPAs want to do that. Some generalist CPAs, in my experience, just want to stick to their box. They know what they're good at and they want to continue doing that. And there's nothing particularly wrong with that. And that might be a situation where you want to move on.
Talk about that relation of that emotional transfer from one person who tends to be the person who's always helped them to, let's say, hey, how do we make this a team effort and not make it one or the other, but both of us together?
Right. Yeah. So that's a great question. So there's kind of two angles. Sometimes I'll take the first angle first, the one where sometimes it's like when you're running a business, right? Maybe a certain staff member, team member has been able to get you so far, but now the business requires someone else with a deeper or more complex skill set to take the business to the next level or to bring it to where it needs to go today. So if you take the view of you want to put your business first, then sometimes there's going to be team members that include people who are not necessarily employees of yours. It's time to move on from those people because even though you might have a history, everything's went great. If you continue working with this individual or this team, what have you, you're holding yourself back. You're holding your business back from going to where it needs to go. So there's one angle, right? There's an emotional connection. They've helped you, but at some point you got to say, this is a business decision. We can leave on good terms, and sometimes it's better just to find someone who's better suited for your business at that time. So that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is like trying to get the generalist CPA on board. It really comes down to the generalist CPA's willingness to go deeper and to open themselves up to learning more. Not all generalist CPAs want to do that. Some generalist CPAs, in my experience, just want to stick to their box. They know what they're good at and they want to continue doing that. And there's nothing particularly wrong with that. And that might be a situation where you want to move on. Other CPAs will be are open to education. So when you do provide them citations, the tax court cases, the regulations, so on and so forth, they can get comfortable with it. Having said that, they have businesses to run as well. So if, to your point, you don't want to just spring this on them like, oh, I need to close this deal in the next 30 days, because they might not have time to go and dig into that. If you're proactive and you have a plan, then you should see this coming. You'll know this is coming. You'll be able to give them the proper time to educate themselves. If that's the route that you want to go and they're open to that type of arrangement. So that's kind of the way I've seen it work. You have to know where you're going, and you have to have a plan, and you have to make sure that you can get your team in place. And that includes external people like CPAs.
Oh my gosh, you said that so well. I feel like that's been the one thing that has been the most challenging, Thomas, to really get and understand of how to help win the CPA. And I'm hearing you're saying, take the view of a business perspective, take them outside of it. First of all, like, hey, you're exiting or you're doing the strategy. Let's back up. Let's analogy that you're growing your business from 0 to 10 million or 10 to 100 million. The same people that help you get to 0 to 10 million, right? You made business decisions along the way to change the team members or change the team that services you or whatever it is. Take that same perspective now with your own tax, right? And it may mean getting a new team, but before we go there, let's see if the coach is coachable, or let's see if the CPA is coachable, right? Let's see if they're humble and open and willing to learn and to dig in and to dive in, or are they so busy or so stuck in their practice that they're not, right? And then in that scenario, well, it may be that you've outgrown them, right? And they're not open to or willing to serve the level that you need to serve, rather than just paying the tax. Very well said. I love that. And I think it comes back to the book. I think Patrick Lencioni, Humble, Hungry, and Smart, right? Is the CPA or generalist humble, coachable, willing to learn, right? Are they actually hungry? Like, are they, do they have enough margin and actually hungry to learn something new and be a part of this? And the smart piece is emotional intelligence, just connecting with people, but also, again, pay the man, right? I always say, or pay the woman, right? Pay the person, right? Like, say, hey, I'm going to pay you, $300 an hour to dive into this with me. If indeed you want their blessing on the thing, pay them and give them time to do all that. Anything else to add to that, or is that a fair summary?
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair summary. I just want to reiterate the paying them portion of it, because, and I'm not just saying this because I'm the CPA, but most CPAs operate on, they're getting paid to file your tax returns. And then like when they're doing work outside of that scope, they need to be compensated in some way. So that's why a lot of CPAs don't give advice or give proactive tax strategy and planning on these things, is because they're not compensated to do so. So if they're giving you free advice effectively, or they're researching something for you for free, then that's taking time and energy away from preparing tax returns or working on clients who are paying them. So just know that your CPA's time is valuable, and if you want them to explore and dig into this stuff for you, sometimes you're going to have to compensate them in order for them to do so.